It's just that he has more funds in there. Uh, that's pretty much it. And let me actually find. And I am about 5, 5, 10 to about 12. I'm about 12 grand in now. Hey, Lucas here, Trader Z. See? Knuckle, George was asking for you today. And those are my gains from crypto. Let me quickly go back to. So this is the morning, and that's for the evening. So that's what I've put in 5 grand into that, and this is right now my total profits. So yep. So so this one is the top one is I did not respond to myself. It's a chain that is going on. If you click on that, it will take you to my previous post. Yep. To share. All right, so let's jump into charting, and we'll talk about this thing a little later after charting. And believe me, I am more interested in this passive thing than charting itself, and then the regular trading. Alexa, turn off front light.
If you need help,
I need help. I need
are you
help.
addicted?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Uh,
First phase is denial. Don't worry.
we got one, now we got 2 certified crypto millionaires in our group. That's it. He sounds different. A couple of days it's been, yeah. I couldn't make out his sound either. It's been 2 days. It's like different. Maybe he is enjoying that fall. That lady had way too much. I don't know. Today was a great day. I couldn't capture the whole or the complete move, but whatever I planned to do, the way I wanted to execute the first, push up and the push down, I executed on both of those parameters. I got my results on both of those, the ranges. And and the push later, I was looking for that push, but I couldn't capitalize on that push. I got out. I knew that Apple was about to bounce there. I got out at the right point with my puts, a profit on my puts, but I couldn't take that call there. I couldn't ride it all the way in the top. But rest assured, everybody knew that it's going to go back into its 5 on the day of weekly. That is exactly what happened. And just to make sure that we all were on the same page, let me. I'm looking for a tweet, not a tweet. I'm looking for a post from this guy, Shifty. I can't find it. And just bear with me for a second. I am looking for that one. Who are certified crypto? Ah, yeah, right. You and grandpa.
And then
Yeah, whatever.
yeah.
Just bear with me, guys.
Y'all can kiss my ass.
Oh, fuck, I can't find that. He actually put that out there, uh, and then I happen to agree with him on that. That he said it's gonna go into its five or something like that. Daily eight is 41.94. Let's hit. No, I can't find it. What the fuck? Anyways, so we'll look at that later. Okay, so let's get back to this thing. Yeah, so before I actually jump into futures, let's quickly look at what transpired today.
Tracking. So we take advantage of those price differences, buy low, sell high, keep the
What now? That was Reeves, I guess.
Yeah, I unmuted him just for a minute to see if his mic was still on. It is.
Right, so this is the run up today. Here is the list of things. How? Nope, nope. So this was a move today, right? So about here, I think uh, this is where FOMC happened, and right at the push down, this was right from the top. We got here. I was playing Qs. I did not play SPX today or SPY. I was in the Qs, and this was the first push up. I got out right around here, and this was a push down. Right? So we played that thing to a fucking T. Then when it started to push back up, missed this whole fucking thing. I didn't get involved. But we knew everybody in the Discord pretty much knew that it was gonna go test that where is that right here. So this is the daily. We all knew that this was gonna happen. Going back and testing its 5, 8, and then most likely tomorrow it will push into its 21. So if you want to go back and review this charting session from the morning or even from the night yesterday, this is what we were discussing. And where is this? Why is this monthly? This should be weekly, right? So this was the case, right? So right here, we were looking for this push back up into its 5. This these are regular candles and these are Heikonaishi candles. The price on the regular candles had left at 5. It did not have anything to hold on to. It was in no man's land, so it had to go back to its 5. And our theory holds pretty much, true to a T. Now, that was for the day. Now, tomorrow, if it clears here, then we're looking for a push into this 43.38. And if that clears, then we are looking for a push into the mean right about here. For tomorrow, this is my base case right about here, 43.16, and a good to have would be 43.40. If that pierces through there, and then we're looking for a push into 43.75 or something like that. So this is how tomorrow it's going to proceed. And what if it rejects? So if it rejects, we are looking for a pushback into 42.39. I would doubt that at this point it would get a reject. It should not have gone this far the way it has gone. It should not have. But the technicals were there. We're looking for this push, and it happened. Now, so this is done. So we have the up case to the upside. If what happens if it pushes to the upside? Now, here is where there is still a gap here, right? These are regular candles. There is still a gap from where the price is sitting to its 5 on the monthly 43.52. This is most likely this will get fixed, or yeah, most likely this should get fixed, and we should be hitting this number. If not all the way, I don't see a reason for it to not move 50 points upside as of where things stand. And Apple still has one leg up from here. So that, I'm pretty sure that this is going to hit, but we will reassess the situation tomorrow morning. But this is the case that needs to be done. Once it hits at 5 and 8, then we'll start to probably reassess the situation here. And if it starts to come back down, then this is the first point. 42.40 is my base case to the downside. If that breaks, we're looking for 42.27. The mean is sitting at 41.96 right now. Not looking at that, but at some point, during this course of the month, or perhaps sometime, it has to come back and test this mean, and it will come back and test this mean. And this hasn't completed its cycle here till 40, 44,000, sorry, 4,000 on SPX. It hasn't completed its cycle yet, and the MACD is still intact to the downside. So perhaps this is just one another, a push up like this, and then we should continue down. That's my understanding. So tomorrow, I'm still looking for upside. So this is what needs to get filled. And to the downside, yeah, we know this is 4200 is pretty much sitting there, and then this is my base case to the downside. I can argue this could be the base case to the downside 4293, but that's way too close. Or we can actually go back into the 1 hour chart here, and we could look for a base case of this number 4246. So it has left at 5 here. uh, it it could happen that the 5 would actually move up, or the price could actually come down. But more looking at the chart, the way it is situated right now, probably it would somewhere meet in the half, because this is kind of getting oversold here. So expecting Williams-R to come back in, but the RSI is still not oversold. The RSI is still good. Average is still pointing down. So I'm expecting technicals to keep climbing. Based on this, the price has to come back down a little bit. So it could come somewhere around here, 42.73, and it could meet it up here, and the push to the upside might continue. If that doesn't happen, then we'll look for a push into 42.50. 42.50 is coming from this number. Where is that number? Right here, right? 42, 40, 42. Yeah. So if Haikanashi should give you the right answer, 42, 42.20. Yeah, 42.30. So somewhere around this range, it should come back in. That would be healthy. And we know from watching so many charts now that this needs to get oversold here, and it has to come back into its 5, hit its 8, come back into its mean. So right now, not really looking at a pushback into its mean, which is about 41.70 or something. But this is a fair point to have, 42.45. So let me proceed this way. 42.45 is the base case. It has on the Haikanashi, it has created a super trend around here. So 42.40 should be my base case to the downside. Should that break, then we'll go into this chart looking for 42.40. Should that break, we'll look for a push into the 8. So that's how I want to proceed. Right now, not plotting anything below 4200, which is the mean on the weekly. So we got the downside, we got the upside. Now let's jump back into futures. So futures are pretty much flat, and futures are getting into a squeeze here. You can see the squeeze after a big move, and now the volatility pretty much went nuts here. Now it is coming back in, and then I think it should. So a big move needs to happen pretty much. Is that? So my expectation is, again, this is the 1 hour chart. My expectation is for it to come back into its 8. It got overbought here, right? So all the indications are telling you that it needs to come back into 8. We know this by looking at numerous charts now that these conditions require a correction. 42.83, come back into 42.69, and perhaps push into 42.34, and the 200 is sitting right here, and the mean is sitting along with 200, 42.16. So this would be healthy per se, but things can remain overbought for a while. We all know that, but this would be healthy. So at least I'm looking for a push into 42.83, a break below that, 42.70. For now, this is my thesis right now. If it breaks below there, then we should look for 21. Right now, 21 seems like a distant dream right now. The way the strength has appeared in the market, it's not fucking strength, but it's lunacy at this point. Uh, yeah, pretty much. I'm not really thrilled about what the way the markets took off. I would have wanted it to come back and test a certain number and then push up. So let's see how that goes. Uh, and futures don't really matter. So right here, 43.13 should act as some sort of a resistance, and then it has left its 5 here, getting overbought. So I'm at least expecting a pullback into 42.40 or some 42.50 or something like that. And then let's see how that goes. All right, so this is the daily. Now to the daily, this is what has happened. So futures opened higher to the left at their 5 to the downside now. So I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back in and fixes this gap, or at least somewhere, so if the technicals continue to run up and the price even stays somewhere around here, so that will still give us our, the base case here, right about here, right? 42.70. It should still give us that number. So yeah, yesterday this was the case that the 5 did leave the price left its 5, started to move back in. Today is the case that the 5 has left to the upside and it has to meet with its moving averages. And 43.30, that's the mean on the daily. And let's see how that works out. And yeah, let's look at Apple. This is one of the ones that I've been tracking pretty close today. And again, Apple was the same setup, and this was another reason we were looking for that push up. And the numbers that we were running for Apple were pretty much here. So Apple, right, it was sitting yesterday. I think it closed a smidge above its 200 moving average, 159.50, somewhere around here. It closed somewhere around here. And then today it couldn't actually push below its this 200 moving average. I played it to the downside twice, thrice, with a bit of success, but then it started to push higher, and it had to go back into its mean. And I was thinking that it's going to go stop here. The mean, it did take a breather here, but then it went all the way. It completed its a journey through the inner Bollinger Band and stop right on top of the inner Bollinger Band. So I wasn't expecting this to happen. I honestly did not expect that to happen. But nonetheless, I still capitalized on that. How? Towards the end of the day, I was looking to short it. I got into a short position, but then, because I took this trade in my large account, I had way more flexibility this time. And this is the reason that I was looking for it to stop right here. And you also had the mean right about here. It would have it just made sense for me to short it here, but Apple had a lot strength, and this was overbought, and everything was there for it to come back down. For a bit there, it did come back down, but it did not come back down all the way as I was expecting it to come back down. And it started to push up, and I got screwed a little bit here. But then I had one, this is the line. I had bought calls for this one, 167 calls. The moment it broke through this, my calls went nuts. By the end of the day, I closed everything. So this is how I was tracking Apple. Till this time, it was pretty predictable, 164, and I was expecting this to hit this and come back down, but it did not. I was short Apple here, and it pushed through this number. Then I was pretty certain that it's going to go hit this number. Once it cleared this number, I went in heavy with these calls because I was certain that it's going to go hit this number. Uh, yeah, so my short position, which I got railed on, but I made up more than that on